Happy Monday, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. Here for a little baseball content. First baseball video that we've done all season, Jay, as the Oklahoma Sooners find out their future in the postseason, and they're going to Chapel Hill, North Carolina in that regional. You've got them, Nebraska, that former Big 8 matchup, and then you have Holy Cross in North Carolina. Very difficult regional by all those who are, covering baseball and talking about this, Jay. I think there's some things that could happen for this team. Obviously, OU has played better as of late. They started off the season 13-0. They were really, really hot. And then won their first few series in the SEC and then just went on a cold spell, Jay. And now as you get to the postseason, I feel like it's new life for the Sooners, and it's just going to really come down to the sticks because I think pitching-wise they've got enough to be able to make a little bit of a run, but they've got to have the bats to do it, Jay. Easton Carmichael, second team, all SEC catcher. You've got Easton Carmichael, you've got Willits, you've got one of the better freshmen in the SEC at second base, Kyle Branch. Like they have some guys who can put some things together. So let's get started on this, Jay. If you're new to this YouTube channel, please hit the like, subscribe to our channel, and check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. You won't be disappointed in that. 10% off your first 3 months if you use code SURGE. Jay, thoughts on the regional and what's to come for OU?
This region, it's tough because North Carolina, they're really good at pitching, and OU hasn't been great with the sticks. They're going to have to hit the ball well, like you mentioned earlier. North Carolina, the 5th overall seed in the tournament. But I feel like the Sooners, with the schedule they've played in the SEC, are prepared for teams like this. The whole thing is, and I think a lot of fans are going to want to know, okay, who are they going to pitch Friday? Are they going to go Crossland, or are they going to go Witherspoon? Personally, I think you got to go Crossland. I think you have to. I think you have to go Crossland and hope to get the win over Nebraska, and then you could pitch Witherspoon. That in my opinion, is what I would do. But I'm not a coach, and I don't claim to be anything like a coach. So,
any chance they do what they did recently and go the freshman left-hander Jaden Barfield for a few innings and then hit? Because
like a bullpen game.
It worked. It worked last time. They both threw their longest inning. I don't think so. I think they're going to go Crossland. I'm going to say this, Jay, real early. If OU beats Nebraska and they don't go Kyson Witherspoon, which I don't think you can in that first game, and Kyson Witherspoon pitched against North Carolina, Jay, and OU were to beat him, I'm picking OU to win the regional. I know that's a shock to a lot of people. If you get a team down, the pressure is all on them, especially when they're the home team.
Well, and things like this, when you get into regional and super regionals, it's about matchups, one. But it's also like, I don't want to get ahead of yourself here, but I think if OU were to get past North Carolina, I think the Oregon super regional possibility could be a pretty good matchup for Oklahoma. But North Carolina is really good. They got sticks, man. They hit bombs. They got a lot of power in that lineup. They got elite pitching. But you know what? I think they were 18-11 in ACC play, Jerm. They got and in Nebraska, they're very hot right now. That's not a game you can overlook because I think Nebraska was about 500 in the conference.
And they weren't good, Jay. They weren't good.
And then in the Big Ten tournament, they got on a streak and they won it. So they're hot. I think they won 5 of the last 6. They're very hot. OU kind of got hot in the SEC tournament, but struggled down a stretch when they got swept by Kentucky, et cetera. But it's all going to come down to what this team does with the bats, Jerm. I would agree with you. And that's the most important thing when you're facing elite pitching.
I agree, Jay. The sticks, and any time in postseason play in baseball, in NCAA baseball, you get hot. You guys, we've all seen it. You start putting things together, it becomes contagious, and you get a momentum. Skip Johnson has proved that he can get teams to do that late in the season. I'm going to speak on something that may be the biggest Achilles heel for OU, Jay, and it's defense. This team has struggled many times this season with errors. You cannot perform that at that level and try to move on to a super regional if you're giving teams extra bases, if you're putting people on the bases, if you're making mistakes to where you could be getting out of an inning and you give an extra at bat because you made an error. OU has shown this year that they haven't been great defensively at times. It's been a major issue for them, I would say, Jay. So that's something they've got to be better at. I mean, we all know how you progress in the postseason. You got to have really good pitching, and I think OU has enough pitching, especially the way Barfield and Hitt pitched last time. I mean, you get to the ninth, you got one of the best closers, in my opinion, Dylan Crooks. But the Sticks, they've got pieces. They've got to put it together at the plate. But kind of the wild card here, Jay, is defense and the amount of errors that they've made at times.
Yeah, and that's an issue. And kind of going to go over some stats here for North Carolina just to give people some awareness of them. I mean, led at pitching by Jake Knapp. Jake Knapp, 12-0 record, 2.17 ERA, 14 appearances. He's pitched really well. They have three pitchers
That's who OU would see is Knapp. OU would see Knapp.
Well, OU would see Knapp in game 2. Yes, correct. He's not. I don't think he's going to start game 1. I think they'll save him for the OU game, and he's really, really good. You look at their bats. I talked about their power earlier, Jeremy. Led in home runs by Luke Stevenson, 18 home runs on the year. Gavin Gallagher with 14 home runs on the year, and then Hunter Stokely, 13. Those are kind of the three with that pop. But this team's got, I think, two really good pitchers, one extremely good pitcher in Knapp. But OU's kind of similar when you look at pitching as far as OU's got an outstanding pitcher in Witherspoon, man. I mean, he can go toe-to-toe with anybody out there, Jerm. And it may – I think we're focusing so much on North Carolina because it's Chapel Hill Regional that you cannot forget about Nebraska. And I believe – OU faced Nebraska, was it last year, went extra innings with them, I think at the beginning of the year. But you can't overlook Nebraska in game 1. That's a 2-3 matchup, and Nebraska is very hot right now. And you know how these regionals work, Jerm. You lose game 1 of a regional.
It's near impossible, Jay.
It's tough to come back on that.
Yeah, and it gets underway Friday, OU versus Nebraska. Game time has not been set that I've seen. Should be announced.
I believe it was 1:30, Jerm.
Okay.
Let me or 4. Let me check. Let me double check on that.
Check on that while I'm finishing this up. But I was waiting on the game time later today. OU cannot look past Nebraska, one of the hottest teams right now in the country, coming off their Big Ten Conference Championship. OU Nebraska, a fun little, I guess, rivalry that is now rekindled here in the regional in Chapel Hill.
4 p.m. Jerm.
4 p.m. on Friday.
OU Nebraska, 4 p.m. ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus, OU Nebraska, 4 p.m. Hey, thanks for watching the content here at the Sooner Surge. If you're new to our channel, hit the like, subscribe, and check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. It's postseason time for the baseball program, and let's see what happens. We'll see you next time.